So try and imagine the worst kind of person. A rapist? A serial killer? Hitler? What does someone have to do to be considered the worst kind of person? Hitler is a pretty good candidate since he caused a lot of deaths. But Hitler was by far not the first or last to kill lots of innocent people during war. So putting power-crazy dictators aside, what makes an individual bad in the eyes of modern society? Not just bad, but the worst kind of person ever. In my mind, murder is the worst crime. Like, if you rob a bank or something without killing anyone, you should be punished less than someone who just shoots someone dead in the street. But those are the two kinds of criminals people expect. Robbery and murder. It's like, if you murder some dude, you'll be fine in prison because that's what people expect. But if you beat your wife or something, you'll be killed in prison for being a wife beater. So, in the mind of prisoners, killing someone is better than just beating them. But if you beat a kid, that's even worse again. Not to mention rapists. If you go to prison for raping someone, you're pretty much guaranteed to get raped yourself. Well, that's if movies and speculation is anything to go by. Obviously, I have no idea what prison's actually like. I assume it's just a free homeless shelter. Anyway, so even if we ignore prison and just look at social media, if you hear about some murderer who shot some people and goes to prison, nobody bats an eye. But if one little old child molester gets caught, well then everyone loses their minds. Like, people will be making death threats without even knowing the full story. How is killing someone better than kiddie fiddling? Don't get me wrong, both are serious crimes, but it's like people view one as a sick bastard and the other as just another criminal. In my opinion, they're both sick bastards. If anything, the murderer is worse because they've actually taken a life. What's worse, potentially traumatizing someone for the rest of their life, or taking the rest of their life away completely? Okay, look at this shit. Turns out someone's already asked this question before, and it seems people agree murderers are the worst kind of person. But if you look at the comments, the ones voting for murder are like, yeah, murders are the worst, nothing else comes close. You know, it's pretty basic stuff. But then the ones against pedophiles and rapists are like, they make me sick. They are sick and disgusting. They should be locked up forever. They deserve to die. They should burn in hell, hung by their genitals. Letting them die is too easy for them. Disgusting. Death to all. I want to kill the people who dishonor women. Murder is bad, but rape is like killing someone when they're alive. What? Okay, so maybe this list isn't the most accurate source for intelligent opinions. But I think it's pretty clear which ones society is more accepting of. People view these ones as just criminals because there's so many of them it's easy to understand. But people view these ones as psychopaths because there's not as many of them, so they don't really understand. And I'd say people are generally more afraid of these than these. I mean, if you're a convicted murderer, you don't have to tell your neighbors by law. But if murder is the worst crime, then why the fuck are the punishments for murder so shit? Not to mention, half the time it's reduced to manslaughter anyway, if they can even get a conviction. And why are there so many crimes that give harsher punishments than murder? A hacker can get up to 20 years prison for accessing your iPhone, whereas a murderer can get off easy on like 10 years. And if you pull off some epic heist and make off with millions of dollars, you'll get like 15 years. If you so much as fucking fart on a child, you'll probably get like 20 years prison for sexually assaulting a minor. That's if you even survive that long in prison once the inmates find out. So like, I'm generally interested in hearing what other people think is the worst kind of person, because I feel like society has a warped view of what reality is. I think people are afraid of the unknown. Not long ago, people thought of gays as an abomination. Some might say they still are. And now that it's more common and less unknown, it's fine. Just like murder is more common than other crimes. So it's more easily accepted by people. Anyway, I'm sticking with what I said about my original comment. Murder is the worst. Anything that doesn't cause harm is infinitely better than murder. Why murder doesn't carry the worst punishment confuses me. But that's our justice system for you. What are you gonna do?